it reminds me of a story of a scorpion that needed to get across the river, and he asked the turtle if he could ride on his back to get across the river, and the turtle said of course. So the scorpion got on the turtle's back and they crossed the river. After they got on the other side, as the scorpion was getting off of the turtle, he bit him, and as the turtle lay dying, he said, "Why did you do that?" And the scorpion says, "Because that's what scorpions do." So why would John Deere write a letter like that? There's always somebody in there that wants to flex their muscle, and evidently it's got their attention. Evidently they don't like the fact that we have something that maybe is better than what they have. If it is better than theirs, it isn't the first time we've had something that's better than theirs.
You know, I think the purpose of the letter and making it public really was about, you know, just letting the public know what's happening out in the industry, and a lot of the things that we often face and that we have faced over the years as a smaller company that's highly innovative, and you know, often competitors don't like that, and especially very large competitors want to see what they can do to try to intimidate. You know, we're just basically saying we don't want to be bullied around. We felt that what we did with the video was very fair, and even, you know, complimentary to Deere with what Deere does well. And you know, ironically, we're sitting right here in a Deere tractor, and they're very comfortable in the cab, and they perform very well. You know, that's a compliment to a competitor. You know, you often see a Kinsey grain cart or mock till or planter pulled by a Deere tractor, and we believe the farmer should be able to choose what brand of tractor he wants to use, and obviously what brand of equipment he wants to pull.
We have fewer and fewer companies out here that are innovators, and we've always prided ourselves as being an innovator. In fact, I have a part of every grain cart that's ever been built, because a local farmer asked me to build the first one, and he wanted it to have larger tires than a normal wagon would have, and he wanted it to have a larger high-speed auger. And so we developed a cart that had big tires and would unload itself in about 3 minutes. And as the combines have gotten faster and more bushels, we've made the carts bigger and bigger so that they can haul more and more. But the auger sizes, we've continued to expand on those so that we can unload, still get back to the combine in 3 or 4 minutes if we need to.
After we mock tilled all of this farm here, this one was planted with the new True Speed high-speed planting system. We were actually using a 12-row planter that was not a production planter at that point in time, and the True Speed metering system worked flawlessly, and we had a great stand, and we were just really pleased with how the fields looked. And then, of course, you know, the ability to run at whatever speed we need to. This farm has some smaller fields where you can't get up to speed in a lot of the places. So, you know, if you need to run slower, you know, at more of the 5.5, 6 mile an hour, we can certainly do that, and it performs very, very well. If you needed to run slower than that, you know, at the 2 or 3 mile an hour, it performs very well.
So my earliest memories of farming are with my dad and his brother, and so it gets to be a habit. I don't call it a habit, but it gets in your blood, and that's what you want to do, and that's what I always felt I wanted to do. I got into manufacturing simply because my dad couldn't afford to help me start farming, so my second choice was welding and repair, and that's what was the beginning of the company.
I was probably about 10 years old when I first started driving the grain cart by myself, and yeah, it's always fun to get out of the office and be with him in the field, and you know, just to be outdoors and use the product. And Harvest is probably my favorite just because of the time of year, and it's interesting as far as between the combine and the grain cart and the trucks going in and out of the field. But it's fun to be able to farm with him, and over the years I've learned a lot from him just by riding with him and having him teach me best practices.
Farmers tend to get out there and get the job done. They don't throw up their hands and not plant a crop. Farmers are probably the most optimistic person on the face of the earth, and even in the prices don't look good, the farmers will go out and plant their crop and raise their livestock and do whatever they typically do and hope for the best.